You are watching KAVU 25 News Now weekends at 5:30.
Good afternoon and thank you for joining us. I'm Adam Seibel. The Victoria Police Department responded to a stolen vehicle today. The response shifted towards a pursuit. We have 25 News Now reporter Adarius McCormick, who stands where the pursuit ended earlier this afternoon. Adarius?
Just a couple hours ago, this UHV campus parking lot was swarmed with Victoria Police Department. Officers apprehended a juvenile male after he ignored their commands to stop. VPD located a stolen vehicle at Sam Houston Drive and Ben Jordan Street that was reported earlier today. The GMC Arcadia refused to stop as officers attempted a routine traffic stop at Irwin Avenue and Love Street. The car continued until officers stopped the juvenile male here in this UHV parking lot. Now, witnesses say the car was moving at unsafe speeds. However, VPD says this is not determined as a high-speed chase. Reporting in Victoria, I'm Adarius McCormick, KAVU TV 25 News Now.
All right, thanks, Adarius. The Gonzales County Sheriff's Office took one person to jail after a traffic stop. Saturday around 9 a.m., a Gonzales County deputy attempted to make a traffic stop on a van which eluded the deputy, and due to safety concerns, the deputy did not continue pursuing the van. Then around 8 p.m. last night, deputies saw that same van, and after a short pursuit, the vehicle was stopped. Two subjects were taken into custody, both of whom were found to have entered the United States illegally. A handgun was recovered from the car, and the driver was booked into the Gonzales County Jail, and the passenger was transferred to the United States Border Patrol. One person is dead after a small airplane crashed in Grayson County on Saturday. This is in North Texas near Denton and Sherman. The victim was both the pilot and owner of the small plane, which had a crash landing near Sherman. This according to the Texas Department of Public Safety. The pilot was identified as 69-year-old Paul Edward McBride from Dallas. He was pronounced dead at the scene at about 9:40 a.m. The 1969 Piper twin Comanche took off from Arrow County Airport, which is in McKinney, according to their preliminary reports. The Federal Aviation Administration said in a statement that the plane crashed in a Grayson County field. The Texas DPS says the Federal Aviation Administration and the National Transportation Safety Board have taken over the investigation. All right, got time to talk weather on this Sunday night. We're going to go ahead and check in with Forewarned Storm Team meteorologist Trey Mining to see what the rest of your week will look like. Trey, I'm hoping for some rain. Do we have any in the forecast?
I wish I could say we're going to bring some rain, but so far looking mighty dry and mighty hot. Oh, yes. I've seen some cumulus clouds out there, but not having much height to them. That tells you right there this is a very stable atmosphere. Very hot conditions going to continue. Definitely 95 degrees currently in Victoria. 108 feel like temperature. Heat advisories in effect until 7 p.m. for all the crossroads counties, even down to the coast. 10-mile visibility, southerly winds 10 to 15 to near 20 miles per hour in gust. Trying to bring some rain in here. Of course, hot temperatures are going to stay for the time being. We'll take a look at what's going on and maybe trying to get some rain here. Somehow, maybe try to get the process started. We'll take a look at the future tracker map a little bit later on this half hour. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Trey. Now, we're not the only ones dealing with this heat. Nearly 40 million Americans across the country. Excessive heat warnings or advisories from Southern California to here in Texas. The oppressive combination of heat and humidity impacting millions in the South. Along the East Coast, heavy rains causing flooding and damage.
An excruciating and potentially dangerous blast of summer weather hitting millions of Americans, with heat indices in the triple digits from coast to coast. 9 states are suffering with extreme temperatures, and more than 37 million people are living under heat alerts.
I can barbecue right here with nothing, no flames.
The Southwest is used to summer heat, but this stretch has been especially long and dangerous. Arizona and California are experiencing some of the hottest stretches of weather in history. In Phoenix, the thermometer has gone past 110 degrees for 9 straight days.
It's one of a kind. Arizona's heat is definitely its own monster.
And in parts of the California desert, temperatures could hit 120 degrees.
If I had elderly folks at home, obviously I would stay indoors and keep the AC on and probably not go out.
In Florida, an area known for its heat, records are being broken. WPLG's Trent Kelly is in Miami, where there has been a new record high 3 days in a row.
Here on South Beach, people have been crowding the shoreline to try and stay cool. In a region that's known for sweating it out, even these high temperatures have been hard to deal with.
Other parts of the Sunshine State, including Tallahassee, Orlando, and Fort Myers, also experiencing above average temperatures. Officials warning people to limit exposure to the sun and to drink water. In Oklahoma, water is the problem. Too much of it. Nearly 6 inches of rain left roads flooded and thousands without power. And more than 35 million Americans in the South and East Coast are on alert for the same kind of strong winds and heavy rain that hit Oklahoma. Elwin Lopez, ABC News, Atlanta.
So this brings us to your viewer poll tonight. The world saw a series of the hottest days on record last week. So does Earth's hottest day on record concern you? It looks like 66% say yes, that does concern you, and 34% say no. Well, thank you for voting. Come to crossroadstoday.com/viewer poll to vote. Forest Street will close between Bridge and Main Streets beginning at 6 p.m. July 10th so that the De Leon Plaza expansion project can begin. This project will convert the block of Forest Street into an expanded pedestrian and performance area with a pavilion, seating, a public restroom, and space for food trucks. That project expected to finish in March of 2024. All right, grab your cell phone and scan that QR code you see right there. That's a quick response code. It allows you to download the Crossroads Today app. You can watch us anytime, anywhere, get breaking news alerts, and vote in those viewer polls, as well as learn about our ongoing contest and submit news tips, videos, and photos. Stay with us. Coming up on 25 News Now at 5:30. The big delays in getting a passport, taking up to 13 weeks.
All right, on the outside, we're looking at mostly dry conditions. A few clouds out there, that's all. Southerly winds keeping that moisture flowing in the Crossroads area, keeping it very humid. We're trying to get some rain in here. So far, not successful, but we're trying to see what we can coming up next week. Maybe some change in the pattern coming up. We'll take a look at that full forecast.
Fentanyl crisis, unmasking the deadly wave. Join 25 News Now weekend anchor Adam Seibel for a 25 News Now Extra, Thursday, July 13th at 10 p.m. We focus on the alarming rise of the deadly drug fentanyl.
What you know about fentanyl is probably maybe 10% of the reality.
Fentanyl is easy to make and cheap to get, and it has flooded communities across the United States, leaving a trail of devastation in its wake. Don't miss this eye-opening extra that could save lives.
hurt after a wrong-way driver slammed into a Chicago Transit Authority bus this morning. According to the Chicago police, the crash occurred around 6 a.m. on South Deuceable Lake Shore Drive. The vehicle was traveling southbound in the northbound lanes when it collided head-on with the bus. A passenger in the vehicle was taken to an area hospital where she was later pronounced dead. The driver of that car, along with another passenger, were also taken to area hospitals where they're listed in critical condition. The driver of the bus, along with 12 passengers, were transported to hospitals with a variety of injuries. The Chicago Fire Department says 7 others were refused treatment at the scene. Victoria Crime Stoppers is seeking information regarding the location of Lauren Gaskin. She has an outstanding warrant for a probation violation. The original offense is a robbery. The warrant was issued April 5th, 2022. She's 34 years old, 5'5", 170 pounds, with brown hair and brown eyes. Fugitives may be armed, and you should never attempt to apprehend a fugitive yourself. And Gaskin is still wanted as of right now. If you have any information on the whereabouts of Gaskin, please call Victoria Crime Stoppers 361-572-4200. You can also come to crossroadstoday.com, where all those tips are anonymous, and if you give information that leads to arrest or charges being filed, you could earn a cash reward. Now to Americans on the move, eager to take up international travel again in this post-pandemic world. But the one thing that may be standing in their way, the big delays in getting a passport.
This morning, with worldwide travel rebounding to pre-pandemic levels, passport panic. The State Department processing as many as 400,000 applications per week. The crush this summer, forcing the agency to open passport fairs to ease the strain. This one in Austin, reaching capacity in just minutes.
We're not going to be able to get your passport application submitted today.
The backlog forcing some to put their summer vacations on the back burner.
Just complete sadness and disappointment.
Miranda Richter had to cancel her family's June 6 trip to Italy and Croatia less than 24 hours before they planned to leave after her passport never arrived. She says she applied back in February but didn't get a notice about her photo being rejected until a month before the trip.
We said, okay, let's kick it in high gear. I went that day, redid my photo, paid expedited shipping to get that in.
Richter's June 6 travel date came and went, and more than a month later, still no passport.
I realized that I am just one of hundreds of people who are in this situation.
The current processing time for passports is about 10 to 13 weeks, and even expedited service has a turnaround time of 7 to 9 weeks. The wait times blamed on pandemic-related staffing shortages, the State Department scrambling to hire more personnel.
Victoria is a featured city on a series called YOLO Texas TV. You only live once, Texas. YOLO Texas is a 30-minute travel and lifestyle television show airing 38 plus times across Texas every 52 weeks a year, highlighting topics of interest to Texans. You can join YOLO Texas team each week as they visit the sights and sounds, events, fairs, festivals, unique cities and towns, restaurants, museums, attractions, and seasonal happenings at any given time of the year across Texas and beyond. So it already aired, but you're in luck because you can catch that episode on their YouTube channel, YOLO TX TV. I haven't watched it yet, but it's uploaded, so I need to check it out. I'm sure it's very cool. Pack the Bus registration underway for children in need of school supplies. You can register to receive supplies online on the Faith Family Church's website at myfcc.com/packthebus. Supplies will also be given Saturday, August 5th at the Faith Family location off Mockingbird. For questions about registration, you can stop by Faith Family Church Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to noon, or contact Stephanie at 361-573-2484. For more on today's news stories, come to crossroadstoday.com. Don't forget to submit your birthday wishes. Carolina Estrain will read them live on 25 News Now Sunrise, and you can also submit a local military hero so we can recognize them.
Another hot day today, of course. Heat advisories till 7 o'clock through all the Crossroads counties. And guess what? They're going up again tomorrow, so be prepared for that. Trying to find some rain somewhere. We'll see what we can find out coming up in the full forecast. And good Sunday afternoon, everyone. Meteorologist Trey Mining here. 95 degrees was so far the high today. Maybe 1 or 2 degrees, maybe we'll be looking at maybe 96 or so by the time the final stats are done later on today. 78 degrees was the overnight low, well above what we should be normally. 110 way back in 1939 was our hottest temperature ever in Victoria. So definitely can get hotter than it is now, but we don't want to think about that. We want to think cool thoughts and keep it on the cool side, definitely. We're still a little over 1.5 inches under normal. We need the rainfall for the year, and of course it's still pretty much in a dry pattern. Unfortunately, high pressure ridging on in, and current temperature is 95 degrees, 96, 97, and even near 100 degrees from Gonzales to Dixon area down to Kennedy, Karnes City, and even closer to Beeville. Along the coast, still 90 degrees, even with the sea breeze not helping those folks out too much, still on the hot side. Future temperatures, of course, will be in the 80s by the time we get to 10 o'clock this evening, and overnight lows only near 80 degrees or so, and rocketing back up with the temperatures coming up for your day tomorrow and Monday, up to upper 90s to near 100 degrees again. And this pattern is going to continue as a high pressure ridge once again, ridging in from the west into southern Texas, and pretty much staying put. All the storms will go up and over the high pressure ridge just like this, keeping the east coast on the wet side and the deep south as well, while all the rain from our area will be deflected off and around the high pressure ridge, so we're keeping it on the dry side, hot side. High pressure, of course, is sinking air. When air sinks, it heats up, and that's why we're having the extreme temperatures we're having now currently in around the state of Texas, and we want to continue to do so. Looking at the tropics, trying to find some rain in the tropics that would give us some little bit of rain relief, and not really having anything I'm seeing. Got the Gulf of Mexico, Caribbean Sea, all the way to the African coast, pretty much on the clear side. A few little weak tropical waves, not amounting to too much, just a very disorganized at best. And that's also disorganized up there near Nova Scotia, moving on to the north. Not tropical in nature, so the tropics quiet for the time being. Looks like it's going to stay that way at least for the majority of the week. Day planner for your day tomorrow in Port Lavaca, 6 a.m. We're already in the low 80s. 95 degrees by 4 o'clock in the afternoon will be the daytime high. Overnight lows will be in the 70s and upper 80s, of course, around the region. For Cuero, pretty much the same. They're 80 degrees by 6 a.m. or wake up time. 90 by noon time, 4 o'clock. 99 degrees, maybe topping 100 degrees by 4 o'clock as well, and keeping the 90s even in the 8 p.m. hour. 92 degrees, very hot conditions expected for your day tomorrow with plentiful sunshine. Extended forecast for us. Trying to find some rain. Trust me, I'm trying to find it, but not having any luck so far. Keeping the high temperatures near the 100 degree mark. Lows near 80 degrees for sunny conditions. Keep in mind your heat index values will be approaching 105 to 110. So what you need to do, take frequent breaks. Drink plenty of water, find some shade, and watch out for others that may be exposed to the heat. Make sure everyone is safe and keep cool. So keep that in mind throughout the majority of the week. And of course, make it a great week. Take a look at this right here. This is the QR code. Get your smartphone, scan the code that you see right there. That'll take you to a web page. You can download the Crossroads Today app and sign up for email alerts, news, weather, and sports, all at your fingertips. Very easy, convenient, and it's free of charge. We've got Zach in the house.
Trey, thank you. We'll recap the Generals' wild Friday night finish because tonight they go for 11 in a row. That's coming up in sports. The Generals hosted the Acadiana Cane Cutters Friday night, trying to extend its winning streak to 10 games. They were also trying to hang on to a one-run lead, but this hit by the pitch with the bases loaded in the top of the 7th inning ties the game at 6 apiece. Bottom half of the inning, the Generals getting ultra aggressive on the base pass. The pass ball scoots away. He slides in just ahead of the throw to grab the lead right back. But in the 9th inning, Acadiana with the tying runner on third. The squeeze play works to perfection. We're tied. But in the bottom of the 9th, winning run on third. Acadiana can't make the play. The Generals walk off at Riverside. That winning streak currently sitting at 10 games. Can they get number 11 in a row tonight? They get their rival, the Brazos Valley Bombers, at 7:05. We'll have that score, hopefully, on 25 News now at 10. Now we've got some other success out on the diamond in the area. Team playing in the state tournament, excuse me. That is the Victoria Southwest team. I got to talk with Coach Ryan Soto last night. His boys jumped out to a large lead, but then he says that's when West University chipped away slowly. Sebastian Soto hit 2 homers, part of their 9-8 shootout victory. Game 2 of that state series today. It actually started at 5 p.m. in Sugar Land. We'll get that score hopefully at 10 as well. Today, the final game before the All-Star break, and the Texas Rangers AL West lead, and a bit of jeopardy going into this series. If you're a Rangers fan, you're feeling good. The Nationals, one of the worst teams, but instead Texas dropped 2 of 3. Patrick Corbin of Washington goes 7 innings of 1-run ball. The first 5 innings were a scoreless pitcher's duel. By the end of the 6th inning, Washington led 5-1. Final score in that one, 7-2. So that gives the Astros an opportunity to pull within a game going into the All-Star break. In the 4th inning, the Mariners get on the board first, and a few batters later, they're going to bring in 2 more runs to make it 3-0 Seattle in the 4th. Good news for the Astros. The Mariners wouldn't score again in the game. Bad news for the Astros. Their only run would come off the bat of Martin Maldonado, a solo homer. Mariners go on to win 3-1 in that AL West lead. Still 2 games for the Texas Rangers. Now from the diamond to the hardwood, Wemby has been making all the headlines, but the newest headline is Coach Greg Popovich, the longtime head coach of the Spurs, just re-upped for 5 years, $80 million to remain the head coach and president of the Spurs organization. Now, most people might be excited, but are you happy with the signing of Greg Popovich? Yes or no? Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote sports to participate. Now, most of you guys say yes. It's about 50-50. Now, I'm going to say that the signing's ridiculous. He was almost fired before they ever drafted Tim Duncan. They haven't made the postseason since what, like 2019? Good coach? Wild amount of money. I don't like the signing. Adam, back to you.
All right, thanks, Zach. Stay with us. Coming up, SpaceX has launched another batch of Starlink internet satellites into orbit.
Unmasking the Deadly Wave. Join 25 News Now weekend anchor Adam Seibel for a 25 News Now Extra Thursday, July 13th at 10 p.m. We focus on the alarming rise of the deadly drug fentanyl.
What you know about fentanyl is probably maybe 10% of the reality.
Fentanyl is easy to make and cheap to get, and it has flooded communities across the United States, leaving a trail of devastation in its wake. Don't miss this eye-opening extra that could save lives.
Has launched another batch of Starlink internet satellites to orbit. The Falcon 9 rocket, which carried 48 Starlink satellites to orbit after lifting off from Vandenberg Space Force Base in California. The rocket's first stage landed on the, of course, I Still Love You drone ship, kind of cool name, which was stationed in the Pacific Ocean. The landing occurred about 8 minutes and 50 seconds after liftoff. It's the 12th launch and landing for this particular booster, and SpaceX has now launched more than 4,700 Starlink satellites. Reminds me of like ships. You know, they name a ship, but I guess they name satellites too. Of course,
it takes less than 10 minutes to get to space?
I get that's pretty.
Yeah,
that's a quick.
And I just have to say that's the out of this world story.
That is.
In addition to that, our temperatures will be rocketing up. The puns just don't end, don't they? All right, that'll be near 100 degrees coming up for your day tomorrow. So be careful out there. Heat advisory once again will be in effect tomorrow like it was today. And temperatures near 100 degrees for daytime highs you see there all the way through the rest of the week. Lows near 80 degrees. Wishing to bring some rain in here, but I can't so far. Keeping it sunny and dry. So be careful out there. Don't get overheated.
All right, thanks, Trey. Yeah, like you said, it's going to be hot, so, stay out of the sun if you can and drink plenty of water.
Please.
All right, well, thank you for joining us. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Have a great week, everybody.